I know Albert's in here, and they're the filmmakers. Albert, thank you so much. You spent a lot of time with us, and we just really want to thank you.
When the filmmakers first approached us about wanting to do this project, we might have been a little difficult. We were very protective of our clients, and we said, well, you're probably not gonna be able to talk to anybody, and we can't share any personal information. And I thought they would say they didn't want to do it, but they rose to the challenge, and you were exceptionally patient and sensitive, so thank you.
So this is a different thing for us. We're here to do a Q&A, and we're here to answer any questions that anybody has about our work, or the movie, or domestic violence, and the relationship with animals. So feel free to ask us anything. This is a safe space. So if anyone's inquiring minds want to know, here's your chance.
Yeah, just stand up and shout, or raise. Yeah, if you have a question, we would love to. We've got until 7. So.
What's your source of funding?
Our source of funding. Everybody who works in a nonprofit in here is like, we are mostly grant funded, which for me feels like a precarious position because grants are extremely unpredictable. And we are building our individual donor base. We do not have any city, county, government funding. We do not have any regular contracts. So it's grants and donors.
Has this been replicated anyplace else?
This has not been replicated anywhere. And I think when we started, we didn't have any idea how massive this would be. Like Kate said, we started just doing vaccines in parking lots, and then it was this can of worms, and the need is massive. And then when the Family Justice Center brought us in as a partner, we now serve 20 different victim and human service partner agencies, and it's so successful at removing barriers that that's probably the next thing that needs to happen, is writing the blueprint for this and replicating it elsewhere.
You know, one of the probably big barriers to this is actually getting veterinarians who are interested in this type of work. And, you know, our profession is in a really tough space, and they're super busy, and they're working really hard on animals, because no veterinarian, like, what veterinarian says, oh, I'm going to become a veterinarian because I want to work with people? It says nobody. But the truth is that what we realized is, and I soon realized as a new grad, that that's what you're doing. You're spending a significant amount of your time working with people, and we are veterinarians who help people, but not everybody thinks of it that way. So that's probably one of the biggest obstacles to sort of replicating this. Yes?
What's your relationship like with local law enforcement agencies?
I think you work closer with local.
So law enforcement in, Sonoma County is really big, and we're beyond Sonoma County too, and so law enforcement has lots of fragmented jurisdictions. So I would say we have not done a great job of introducing ourselves to everybody, but just organically through the work, through the Family Justice Center and through other partners, it's been very positive. There have been multiple cases where law enforcement will call us and say, we're on site at a DV incident, can you come and help with the animals? Or we have somebody here at the department making a DV report, the animals are left behind, and they'll call us in. And one of the main things we've done, we've trained thousands of human service, including law enforcement, and we try to do a lot of cross-training between animal services and human services, and law enforcement has done a darn good job showing up. I've been pretty impressed, honestly. In the back?
What's the most common way you guys house the animals while getting shelter for the person?
Yeah, I'd say the question was, what's the most common way that we house animals while the person is in shelter? We have a great foster network, and we need a larger foster network. And our foster, so we do foster and boarding. So we're able to provide foster boarding, obviously is expensive, and so when you think about a victim of domestic violence who is in a safe house, that stay may be 30, 60 longer days, and boarding an animal for that amount of time is very expensive and also not the best alternative. I mean, being with the person is the best alternative. But we have some great foster care providers who open up their homes for that. It's complicated though. You think about it, like it's not, typical for animal rescue. If you're a foster care provider, that animal's not owned. That animal belongs to a rescue, so they're going to be adopted at some point. These are owned animals who are in foster. Sometimes there's confidentiality. There's always confidentiality, things to take into account. And how our foster works is we get a call today and we need to foster today or tomorrow. So the foster care program has been largely very, very successful, and we have a technician who helps us with that, and that's where we house.
Yeah, first choice would always be to keep the pets with the person. So if there is a housing option where they can stay together, that's number one. Number two would be to go into one of our foster homes. If that's not possible, then we look to boarding, and we pay for boarding. And then if it's an animal that needs to be rehomed, if the person knows that they can't keep that animal or can't bring it back, which doesn't happen often, but sometimes they're like, I know this is too much for me to keep this animal, then we are totally reliant on our community partners, some of which are in this room and are amazing. Just this week, we had somebody who urgently needed to surrender 2 dogs. Compassion Without Borders, the Humane Society of Sonoma County, and We Care Rescue all stepped up. Oh, and Sonoma County Animal Services, they all stepped up.
Yes, over there.
What's your range and limit of what animals you can help with?
Per client?
So-
Like if somebody said, I have 5 guinea pigs, is that what you mean? Like,
We've done 20 fire toads. We've done many pigs. We've done over 10 cats. We don't like to do those cases, but we will bend over backwards to try. We'll try to do anything. Doesn't mean we can, but we'll try.
yeah, and it does get harder when there might be 2 large dogs who need to be housed together. That gets harder.
What happens if the animals that you're treating for vaccines need more extensive care?
We have some great partners. We have some great veterinarian partners. And we're really selective in how we tap our partners because we're not a full service hospital at all. But we have some really, really compassionate veterinarians who help us out. And that's how we make it work.
If it's something that is the difference between a person and the animal getting to safety or not, we'll take care of it. So if there is a medical need, whether it's the animal's been mistreated or it needs something that comes up during foster, we take care of it. If it's something that's elective, we usually don't. So we are very selective with how those funds are spent. And like Kate said, we lean on some amazing veterinarians who help us out.
I see a question way in the back.
Do you get time off is my first question. Second is, do you find that you, maybe accidentally put yourself in harm's way?
So we're on call 24/7 for victim advocates or victims that need support. But this is how it's morphed. It's morphed in a positive way because at the beginning it was just clients calling us or victims advocates calling us in a real emergency situation, like I have a client, they need to get out, like now. And so we did a lot of those urgent care appointments, and those were more tiring. But as we've grown and we've been able to do pop-up regular clinics at the living room, which you saw one clinic in the movie, as well as at the Family Justice Center, we're able to work with women who may be planning a future where they're not living in an unsafe situation. So we're able to get to do preventative work and get sort of animals all teed up so that if a client does need to get into housing, the vaccines are already on board and those sort of things. But yeah, all the time we get calls all the time through the weekend. But yes, we get time off, but it's not like we have somebody to take the phone while we're gone.
But if anybody's interested,
I think you probably have it on you right now. Right? Yeah.
and there was a second part to the question about do we ever get in unsafe situations. We've been learning as we go.
Twice.
Yeah, there was one situation that was extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We never go alone, and we never go where an abuser is located. So we do take certain precautions,
Except twice.
which were a long time ago, so we're learning.
Yeah.
Absolutely, we take precautions and are careful about that.
Yes.
Hello, I loved your video, I think it's fantastic. My question for you is you have a room full of people here watching it, and some of us are in situations where we can donate financially to you and others can't. How can we help you?
Great.
Thank you.
Well, if you're in a situation where you can financially donate, then we invite you to financially donate. I still believe that there's a handful, and it could be a small handful of people out there that this resonates with, who do have resources, who want to help us, who want to be a champion and believe in this, and want to know that their money is going someplace that's actually truly saving lives. Like, we're truly saving 2 lives at a time, or 3 lives at a time. And
And we have one full-time employee, so our overhead is not high. It goes right to impact.
if you don't have the resources to financially support us, and let me go back a minute. We have donors who are regular donors that donate $10 a month, $20 a month, $30 a month, $100 a month, every $5 a month, and we love that. So everything matters. It really is helpful.
It literally makes the difference in what medications we can order and how many clinics we can take on. So that's financial. But other than financial, signing up to foster, if you are able to take an animal into your home, we have an application on our website to express your interest in maybe becoming a foster. If you fill that out, we'll call you and we'll talk about our program and see if it's a fit for you. So people who can foster, that's a very big need for sure. And go ahead.
Oh, there's so many ways. I think just having the conversation with people too, because what I love about having these conversations is that how many people come up to me after and say, I never thought of it. I had no idea that that was even a thing. And I think that just being able to have that conversation, introduce the concept to other people so that we all start thinking about it. I think that's also helpful.
Yeah, and lastly, whatever it is that you love, you do, whatever your thing is, it probably can help our clients and their pets. So like if you're a groomer, donate 1 free grooming per year, even, that's huge. Or if you have a restaurant, or if you have a unit on your property and you'd let somebody stay there because they can't find housing, or if you like to cook and you want to have a bunch of friends over and invite us and we can talk about what we do, like anything like that.
Yeah, we'd be happy to come for dinner at your place with you and your 10 of your best friends. Yes, over there.
So I just wanted to share a personal story. When I was 18, my mom had to leave an abusive situation, and she had to move into an apartment where they didn't take pets, and she had to leave her little dachshund with her abusive husband. And to this day, this is like 70 years ago, or no, 60 years ago, and to her dying day, she felt sad about that. And I still feel sad about that. I still remember that little dog so well. And so I'm so grateful that you are doing this. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, in the middle there. Yes. Yep, you. Yep.
How many, do all the Sonoma County agencies know about you? Like, does everybody call you?
I think so, based on my based on the phone calls, I think they do. For the most part, I mean, we haven't necessarily made the formal rounds introducing, but we do trainings and presentations and, just word of mouth. I think so.
Okay, way in the back.
This is similar to what she just asked you, but how do victims of abuse know about you?
That's such an important question, because in this room, there are so many people doing critical things for people and animals in our community. And if people don't know where to find us, then we can't provide services. And so that awareness is huge. I think for us, a lot of it is through victim advocates and through human service agencies. Now that we've all been working together, they're starting to ask victims, do you have a pet? And if they do, they are referred. But there's a lot of word of mouth, there's a lot of, and we're doing a lot of outreach. A lot of people find us on ChatGPT nowadays.
We get calls from all over the United States, randomly, and obviously we can't provide all that support. But I think through agencies like the Family Justice Center, who has amazing partners, a lot of human service providers, the Living Room, who supports with women and children on the verge of at risk of homelessness. The number one reason for a woman being homeless is experiencing domestic violence. So through those partners, we end up, they get to know us.
It's such a great thing too, because our human service partners, our victim service partners, they can't be expected to be animal experts and to know all the animal connections in the area. They just need somebody to call, right? And if we can't do it, we know all the animal people to reach out to. And so I think that's a big part, is just all of us knowing about each other, and it's all about our relationships within agencies.
Yeah, it's all about partnerships, and we are highly collaborative, and we're exceptionally grateful for the fantastic partners that we work with, both animal and human service providers. It's a great community. This person right over there, yes.
I wanted to say that the film was shot, it was so beautiful, and edited beautifully, and the whole thing was fantastic. I was wondering, what else is being done with this film? Is it being entered in the documentary? Like, what's happening with this film?
Come on, Albert.
I'm gonna hand the mic to Albert so you can all ask questions to the filmmaker.
Thank you.
Yay.
Unfortunately, not much. I've entered into festivals. I entered into the Festival Film Festival, and we've gotten a lot of rejections. I've recently been reaching out to like places like the Purple Leash Project and things like that to hope to like get it into like using some educational purpose or something like that. Yeah. I don't know what that is. No. All right. Apparently, yeah.
It's been screened a couple times in Berkeley.
Yeah.
And we've been to those, and yeah, This is where it sits, but Albert, you did a great job.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions for Albert before we steal his mic from him? Yes, over there.
Hey, I was just curious about your background and the other filmmakers' background. Just like to know a little bit more about you guys.
We're both professional journalists. We met at UC Berkeley, and that's where we make the film.
Cool.
I have a question for filmmakers.
Oh, there's one more back there.
Yeah.
I was a journalist back in the day, and so I was struck by the drone shots
Yeah.
from above that showed, as you were talking about an issue of violence and safety, it shows the beauty of the land. So it's the juxtaposition between the two, and that was just beautiful. So thank you.
Thank you. I'll take credit for shooting those shots, but it was really my partner Donica who had that idea from the beginning. She's not from here, she's from Minnesota, and just seeing Sonoma County and how beautiful it was, she wanted to like juxtapose those two.
I'm so inspired, and it was really interesting what you said, that people think that in Sonoma County everything's so beautiful that violence doesn't happen here. And I was particularly struck when you talked about violence happening in mansions and homeless encampments, that it really is like, prevalent in our community in a lot of different cases. Can you speak to that? Because I think it's an important thing to reiterate to people.
Speak to the presence of it in our community.
Yeah, and how it hits a diverse
Yeah.
type of homes and environments. Because everybody thinks like Sonoma County is so beautiful and buttoned up, but it's really not. This is a problem that
Yeah.
occurs in all kinds of socioeconomic conditions.
Yeah, that's a real misconception, right? That violence only, you never want to believe what the movies say about how it happens. And I think that's where a lot of women get confused, and it gets complicated. I'm educated, how could this happen to me? I'm this, I'm that. So in Sonoma County, our statistics are not better than anywhere else. 1 in 4 women are directly impacted by interpersonal violence. This year, 2025, we have already broken the record for domestic violence homicides in Sonoma County. So we live in a beautiful place, we have an amazing community, but we're no better than anywhere else. The difference, I think, is just that the issue happens behind closed doors. And housing is so expensive, a lot of women don't think they can leave, because how on earth are they gonna start over by themselves? Where are they gonna live? They can't afford an apartment. I think some people feel like they won't be believed or they won't be helped. But it is here as much as it is everywhere, and it absolutely, every race, every socioeconomic status, it is both women and men. Women a lot more, but it affects everybody.
Yes.
How did you get the name Ruthless Kindness?
We were driving up the coast through the redwoods near Elk, which is our favorite drive, and we wanted to, we thought about kind of professional names like the Society for Good for blah blah blah. And we were like, nah, that's not us. And then we really thought the bottom line was kindness, but then it had to be more than just, handing survivors pamphlets and hand-holding and sweetness, because kindness isn't really kindness unless it also comes with justice, unless it also comes with action, unless it also comes with impact. And so we had to make sure it was clear that the whole point was kindness, but that it was also unapologetic. And that came out of there somewhere.
Yes, I think there's a question there.
I just wanted to, kind of going back to the movie too, but domestic violence is something that is so often hidden away and swept under the rug, or people don't want to talk about it and they don't want to hear about it because it's sad and it's upsetting, and yet it needs to be out in the forefront and be spoken about. This movie needs to be shown. you guys need to be out there. I'd never heard of you before. I knew nothing. I worked in the veterinary office. The word has to get out. This is a fantastic movie. I'm sitting here thinking about, or standing here, thinking about college campuses, because then you're spreading the word about domestic violence to the younger crowd that needs to know that they shouldn't be living in such a situation. They don't have to. There are options, and also young college people have an amazing way of getting behind a cause and doing great things. And so I just wanted to throw that out there as a possibility. You guys are fantastic.
Thank you.
I think you're fantastic. I heard a vicious rumor that a local vet clinic closed early today and the team came out tonight. Is that true? Yes. Okay. Well, we have a lot of people that come out to our stuff, but we've never had a vet clinic come out. And the veterinary profession is not, has not necessarily been the community that has welcomed us. And so I just want to say thank you all for being here tonight. I really appreciate it.
And we could use your help, so we'd love to talk to you.
That's why I asked you, what do you need?
Always need food. Always. Yes.
They also sent an email out to all of their clients, and that's why we're here tonight too.
Oh, that's
That's
fantastic.
amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yes.
So, when I was a child, my mother volunteered at a shelter were called battered women, back before it was domestic violence. And I remember as a little girl, I was probably about 10 years old, going with her to some of the homes where women were getting support, the homes of women who were receiving support, who were too afraid to leave. And my mother would time it so that the husbands wouldn't be home. And I can still remember the faces of those women and the faces of their children. And I remember one of those little boys started physically abusing their puppy. And I just, has never left me. I'm 57, and it has never left me all these years, because he was modeling what he saw his father do to his mother. And what wasn't mentioned, and I think people who are close to the issue know, that when women decide to leave, that is when they're at the most risk of being killed or just harmed. And so for you to be available 24/7 at a phone call is just extraordinary. I don't know of anyone else who can turn on a dime knowing what's at stake when you finally get that call, because that is really the woman's most dangerous moment of her life, when you're responding. I just want to recognize you. You guys are heroes.
Thank you. You know, we're not that good. And again, it takes a community, right? And so the Family Justice Center does so much of the legwork, and we're just one of the partners. And you know, it really takes a whole community to support and lift people up. And right now is a really hard time for nonprofits as well as people. And you know, for Sarah and I, just being able to lift up our community. I mean, we're lucky. We're vets. That's what we can do. You know, we can provide a vaccine. That's like nothing for us.
And we might take that call, but then we might then immediately have to call like Verity, and Verity's advocates show up like that, right? Like it's all, yeah, right? Or another partner that's amazing like them. So, is it time?
No, Koshik would like to say something.
Oh, great. But I just wanted to say something really quick about what you said about the cycle of violence, right? So youth who are exposed to violence are more likely to repeat it. We do have a program called Empathy Education, which is specifically designed to break the cycle of violence by teaching empathy with the help of rescue animals and with the help of Goatlandia, another amazing nonprofit. And Compassion Without Borders, they help with that program as well. Yeah, great. But that's huge. That is a huge thing. And so in that moment where a woman is scared and she's trying to protect those children and herself, I guess I would just plead to everybody in this audience, if there's nothing else you do, if there's nothing else that you take away from tonight, it's just believe people who decide, be a safe person for somebody to tell you that shit is going down in their life. Be a safe person, believe them. That's gonna make all the difference, right? If you are like, I believe you, let's figure this out together. You don't have to have all the answers, you don't have to be the expert, but being the person who's a safe space and believes them is gonna help them with that first step, that scariest step. This is Kaushik Roy. He is one of our amazing board members.
I have, please don't clap. they deserve all the applause. I've been thinking for the last 15 minutes or so if I should say something, and finally I realized when Kate said, I'm paraphrasing, we're not that good or something, that I had to say something. There is a Buddhist line about angels who walk among mortals, and that's what Kate and Sarah are. But the reason I came up here to crash the party is the one thing I wish they were better at is asking for money. No, please, seriously, what they do, it is not humanly possible to sustain without money, without finances. And they're not gonna say that because they're too humble and they're too just dedicated and truly angels. So they need someone like me who doesn't care as much about things to just come out and say this. If you're thinking about giving a donation tonight, actually, if you're thinking about giving a donation tonight, would you mind raising your hand? Okay. Well, do we have remit envelopes?
The flyers.
Well, here's the thing. Statistically speaking, I've worked in the nonprofit sector for 20 years. Only 1 out of the 4 people who raise their hands will end up making a donation. Not because you don't want to, but you're gonna go home and your kids are gonna ask for help with their homework, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, and your life is gonna continue. So the website is ruthlesskindness.org. You can actually go on your phones right now, and if you raised your hand, I would urge you to make the donation before you leave the theater, because that's when it's going to happen. Because Ruthless Kindness, it's not going to be here indefinitely if we don't get more financial supporters. It just won't. And like Kate said, they get calls from all over the country because there is nothing else like this. So you have a real gift in your neighborhood, in your own backyard, but it will not, please don't think it's guaranteed to be here, because it is humanly not possible for them to continue to do what they're doing unless more people step up with their checkbooks. So I apologize for interrupting, but they're never going to say this. They're never going to say this, so someone else has to.
We have past time. All right. Does anybody have a burning question before we?
I just want to say, pass the popcorn buckets out there before everybody leaves.
Yes. Well, to follow up, he's right. I'm horrible about asking for money, but at the table out there, we do have a little donation thing. We also have a QR code for Venmo. We have the website. So if you stop by the table, there's like 4 different ways to donate. And there's some merch if you want to buy some merch. But let's go out in the lobby. If anybody wants to continue the conversation, we'll see you out there.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. We all